Hi and welcome. You are watching The Island Docs. I am Dr. Sandy and this is my co-host, Dr. Gordon, and we're here to talk all things health and health related. Our topic for today is obesity, and obesity is a growing epidemic in the Caribbean and all over the world. As a result, we're seeing so many more cases of obesity-like complications like diabetes and high blood pressure. So we, as Caribbean people, need to understand what it means to be obese, exactly how it affects us, and what we can do to treat and combat it.
Welcome back to the Island Docs. Our topic today is obesity. But what is obesity? Obesity occurs when you have excess fat accumulation. It forms as a result of excess caloric intake being way more than the amount of energy that you expend. It is measured by a body mass index or BMI
of over 30. And a BMI is a scientific calculation that we doctors use to calculate whether or not you're normal weight, overweight, or obese. And it uses your height in proportion to your weight. And the formula for it is your weight in kilograms divided by your height in meters squared. And I know I probably lost like 90% of our viewers out there. But for all of you who don't like math, we have a cheat sheet. And on the left, we have your height. And on the right, you have a weight. And if you are this weight or more, then you are, in fact, obese. I know it's important as well to know the risk factors. Like, how can we prevent getting to this obese stage? So, some of the risk factors are, getting older in age.
Yes, there's age, there is gender, but more importantly, something that you can actually change about yourself, it's a sedentary lifestyle. If you stay home and just not live an active lifestyle, you're more likely to be obese. So get up, get moving. Is how you combat that risk factor.
I know, and our society is like setting us up for like disaster. Everything is faster, quicker, easier. So we don't even want to do any minuscule amount of work. We don't walk, we drive. We don't do anything anymore, and this is exactly what is predisposing us to gaining weight.
Another risk factor is hereditary. So people do say that fat runs in my family, but you have to understand it's not necessarily that it runs in your family, it's the lifestyle that your family has created. Because if your grandmother, your mother, they all prepared high caloric fat foods, you are more likely to prepare those meals because you've learned bad habits that has been handed down from generation to generation.
Yeah, and that's why we're going on and on about obesity and about all these different things, is that so we can avoid the complications, because all this fat rolling around is affecting every single organ that we have. So, we do not want to have a reduced life expectancy because we are overweight.
Yeah, because obesity really, really reduces your life expectancy. You suffer from things like hypertension, heart attacks, arthritis, diabetes, sleep apnea,
poor mobility. I mean, you name it, there's not an organ that is spared by obesity. So, this is why we have to, make sure that we understand what obese, especially your heart, right?
Especially your heart. If you think about it, when you're obese, there's a layer of fat that encompasses your heart. In fact, I have a slide to show you how a normal heart looks against an obese heart.
Wow, that looks like chicken. Like fat is everywhere, and you think this muscle is supposed to be doing all the work for your body. So, people don't think about it, but this is exactly what is happening. And one of the complications that's so dear to me, just because I too was oblivious to what it meant, is acanthosis nigrans, a big word to design or to talk about the fact that, sometimes you see that darkness around your neck and under your arm. And most people, your aunts and your uncles and everybody's like, they don't bathe properly, or it's a cleanliness issue. This is not a cleanliness issue. This is actually your body's precursor showing you that you are at risk for having diabetes. So, it's not about taking more showers. It's not muck on your neck. This is something serious that we can see in people who are overweight. And now we are going to show you exactly what the nutritional facts behind the drinks that we consume on a regular basis actually looks like. You know, we just put it into a Ziploc bag, and this will be exactly what the sugar content is for this beverage. Okay, so how much sugar do you think is present in water?
None. 0 grams.
Everyone knows that there's no grams of sugar in water. So what about a popular drink that a lot of people consume? It's a sorrel drink in the Caribbean.
150 grams.
No, that's not correct. It's actually 18 grams of sugar, or 18 teaspoons of sugar, or 72 grams. What about in an orange juice?
I'll have to go with 30.
Okay, not correct either. There's 160 grams or 40 teaspoons of sugar in 1 box of this orange juice. And you know, that in fact is a lot of sugar in just this 1 box. What about in a Fanta?
120.
Okay, so still not right. It's 154 grams of sugar, which translates to about 36 teaspoons. And what about McDonald's? This is for the iced tea version, just the plain iced tea, no syrup, no anything. You know, just an iced tea. What do you think? How much sugar is in that? 30, no, but close enough. You're getting better. It's 20 teaspoons of sugar. And Lucozade, every Caribbean person drinks it when they're sick. You know, everybody does it. How much sugar do you think is in this tiny bottle of Lucozade?
20.
That is almost correct. It's about 13 teaspoons of sugar in the Lucozade. So we are actually consuming a lot of our sugars right in our beverages and not even know it. And this can contribute to our fat accumulation.
Yeah, it's really surprising. I mean, you go and you buy a Coke, but you don't know how much sugar there is in that bottle. But now we know. Moving forward, we have 3 guests coming on who have struggled with obesity. They're going to come and tell you about their journey. So let's listen to what they have to say.
Stay tuned.